Rosie, this is TikTok for Dummies, me being the dummy.
Bless you.
So hopefully, 20-ish minutes of great advice and probably taking the mickey out of me a little bit as well.
Just a smidge.
Which is fine. So what's interesting about this chat with you in particular, I think, is obviously you're in a marketing role. You work in marketing, which is interesting when you're talking about TikTok. But you're also, from a consumer perspective, you love it. You spend a lot of time on it. So you see it through the eyes of a consumer and a fan of the platform as well. So we've got a blend of perspectives.
Yes.
So first question from me is, take your marketing cap or hat off for a minute. As a consumer and fan of the platform, what is it about TikTok that is special? Why is it different? And why do you think it resonates with so many people?
I think the main thing for me on TikTok is it's just so free and you can do absolutely anything on it. Obviously, it got big in lockdown. That was pretty much when it first started. And it was just so mindless. Like, you didn't need to concentrate. It wasn't filtered. There was no schedule for it, if you like. It was just so random and people were posting absolutely mental things, and it was just doing so well because it was like, it's funny, it's easy, you don't have to think about anything. And it's just one of those things where you're just like, every night I'm like scrolling through TikTok. I can be watching a film that I'm really engaged in, but I'll still be scrolling through TikTok. It's kind of gross.
But the addictive nature of it is massive, isn't it?
Yeah, big time.
Do you think it's that the element of escapism?
Definitely. I think that's like I said,
that so well.
For in lockdown specifically, like, it just makes you not think of anything else. Like, you're literally just staring at your phone, scrolling. It's so easy to scroll. Like on Instagram, it's not as, in my opinion, you can scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll, but it gets a bit samey. It's all pictures. It's all like all filtered stuff. Yeah. And like, it's all been like checked and scheduled, and it's all pretty formulaic, whereas TikTok is so random and off the cuff and out of the blue. Sometimes I'm like, what the hell was that? But I'll still watch it. I guess they've done that thing, short form video content. They've done that, and they've done it really well, whereas Instagram, it was never really that to begin with, was it? And then obviously Reels came out and tried to emulate what TikTok were doing, which is probably why the experience isn't as fluent. Yeah, for sure. On TikTok now, I'm pretty sure you can upload up to 10 minutes worth of video as well. So like tutorials and stuff like that are now moving on to TikTok as opposed to like YouTube and stuff like that. It's quite long, isn't it? It's mad. What's interesting about a platform that takes off is then everyone starts to copy it and replicate it. Yeah, for sure. So Reels, YouTube Shorts. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was like when Stories did really well and Twitter did Moments. Yeah, and it was even LinkedIn. So silly. Like, there's a time and a place, guys. There's a time and a place. So, what, I guess, looking back at this from a marketing perspective, like, what would you say are some good examples of brands that are doing well, or examples of people or brands that are doing really well that people can go and look at and go, okay, let's see what they're doing and why? So I think obviously, where I am a female and I have a female sort of based For You page, I have like a lot of makeup brands, a lot of fashion brands, like gym stuff. So like Gymshark, they do a lot of user generated content. They do a lot of like fitness facts and all of that kind of stuff, which I think is really helpful to a lot of people. Yeah. ASOS also do a lot of user generated content. There's a makeup artist who started out on YouTube called Mitchell and he has a makeup brand called Made by Mitchell, and it is all over my For You page, like, because he does bundle deals and he sells them on TikTok Shop. And he posted the other day, I think he'd made like 500,000 sales through TikTok Shop alone. Wow. And I think that was in a year. That's great. I'm pretty sure, which is mental. Like, when you think, before TikTok, he would have just been selling on the website, which it probably would have done well. But can you imagine? Immediately, there's this new revenue source. Yeah, it's mental. That's cool. I like that. Yeah. We were talking before this about some brands manage to crack it and do quite well. It'd be interesting to see what you're not understanding. That's a stupid way of saying it. Like, what would you define as a successful brand on TikTok? So I think it depends on if you're looking at it from like an e-commerce side, or whether
Sure.
you're looking at it from like just a brand likability.
Yeah. Should you even look at it from a revenue perspective, or like what does good look like in your mind?
I think because
sorry, my dog's in the room and he likes yawning. That was a big one. Sorry.
Bless him.
Yeah, what does good look like?
I think like, so once you have liked a certain thing in the algorithm, you can then get 4 videos in a row, which are tailored to that. So at the moment I have a brand called, I don't even know how you say, I think it's Moose Lover. And it's like bodysuits, jumpsuits, and every other video at the moment on my For You page is about that. Okay. And I think I'm going to buy one because I'm so sucked in. I'm like, that looks incredible on everyone. Yep. So I think that's like pretty good. But also at the same time, you've got to be careful with how much you like show it to people, because sometimes I'm like, okay, stop showing me the same thing. I'm not going to buy it. But then, there's other stuff like the Made by Mitchell stuff. I bought that. And I think like, and then you've got brands a bit like Ryanair. Where it was like they had the filter on where it's just the eyes and the mouth. And for ages it was like, oh my God, who is it? Is it like one of the influencers that are already on TikTok? So there was like a big mystery about it. And there are like other brands like that are doing like really well in terms of like user likability. It's like I said to you earlier, like
likability is a great phrase.
For sure. Yeah. And like I said to you earlier on Twitter with Aldi or Lidl, I can't remember. I think it's Aldi.
You say Aldi, I say Aldi. Is it Aldi or Aldi?
I don't know. Audi is the car, right?
We should have a phone in.
Yeah. Phone a friend.
Yeah, write in and give us your answer. We all know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because they're on Twitter. They walk the fine line, especially. Yeah,
they're good though, aren't they?
Really good. Like sometimes I see their like tweets and I cackle because they are so funny.
They're good, yeah.
And like especially when it comes to stuff that's really controversial.
That's so difficult though, isn't it? Because
finding the balance.
Yeah, and to be funny without either offending lots of people or just not being funny at all. Yeah. It's tough.
I think their like almost rise on Twitter specifically came from the whole Marks and Spencer's debacle.
That's true.
Because I think a lot of people, obviously everyone has views on every brand, but like I think Aldi and Marks and Spencer's are so polar opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
So when like I think the Aldi one is Cuthbert the caterpillar, and obviously you've got Colin the caterpillar at Marks and Spencer's.
It was the caterpillar gate, wasn't it?
And that was like when they're like the first round kind of thing. And since then there's been quite a few other brands where Aldi have like quote tweeted it and put, "Oh, be careful," or like something like that. Like it's really funny.
Which I think is, it is really good. And they clearly know their audience.
Definitely.
And everyone knows you walk into Aldi or Aldi. Yeah. And you're going to walk down the aisle and there's going to be lots of
random brands knockoffs that Yeah.
You know.
They're like lookalikes.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to think of examples and I can't. There's like, the penguin chocolate bars the kids have. Like
Seals.
Is it the seal bar?
I think so, yeah. We get them.
Or like the Mars bar equivalent is like a Jupiter bar or whatever it is. Yeah, it's but everyone knows what you get with Aldi. Yeah, and I think they really dial into that. But the likability point's interesting because you look at a brand like Ryanair, and lots of people talk about their content on TikTok, and they'll quote it, or even see stuff on LinkedIn about it. And I think you look at that and you go, well, have they sold loads of extra seats by being on TikTok? Probably. Yeah. But also they're really getting their personality out as a brand. They're like, for awareness it's great. And
definitely.
Actually as a brand they've always been about getting as much free exposure as possible.
For sure.
So it really ties into that kind of DNA of who they are and what they do. And they like kind of poking and rustling a few feathers.
Or like replying to comments being like, oh, like I got the window. There was like a whole thing on, I think that was on Twitter as well as TikTok, where it was like, I got a window seat and or extra leg room, and they're like, there was like this much extra leg room, and there was a whole thing about it. But yeah, it was it is definitely like going up in the likability factor. Yeah,
which I think is so many people look at social or performance marketing, and all you can think is obviously you're investing money in it. So your first thought is, where's my immediate return on this?
Yeah.
Likability is actually quite a good KPI.
Yeah, definitely. Especially for a big brand like that.
I like it. It's a very likable KPI. Okay, cool. So let's say you're a brand and you know there's an opportunity for you on TikTok.
Yep.
You kind of think it fits with your audience and your market, but you've got no idea where to start. Where do you start? What do you start doing? What should the creative be like? What's the first step?
I would be on TikTok for like a week beforehand, looking at the trending videos, looking at what is making people laugh, what's making it to the For You page, what's getting the views, as well as the sounds. Because a lot of times you can do a really funny video, but where it's just gets lost in the algorithm, it doesn't almost appear on the For You page and nobody really cares.
And the sounds bit is interesting, isn't it? Or like massively important.
Yeah. So I think obviously we've had issues where we had the can I say city scooter?
Yeah, you can.
With the city scooter TikTok, where the sounds that we wanted weren't, because it was a business account, they didn't have them on there because it was swearing or it was rude or it was just like something that a business probably shouldn't use.
Yeah.
So then you almost have to find like the underground version,
right?
Like the off-brand one, and obviously that doesn't get you quite as much traction because it's not in the trending list. It's
okay. That's really so. You're already at a bit of a disadvantage as a brand, just from a logistical, practical point of view. Yeah,
I think so. Okay. Especially in that respect. Obviously, you've got everything else available to you. You've got the filters and all of that kind of stuff on like actual like when you're filming. But the sounds did cause a couple of issues.
Interesting. Okay, and then from a creative point of view, it's obviously completely different to any other platform, really. Yeah. So if you just try and repeat what's worked for you in other places, it's 99% likely to not work.
Yeah.
So where do you start from a creative production point of view, or from that aspect? What should you be considering?
I think the key with TikTok is to be consistently inconsistent.
Interesting. What do you mean by that?
So I think a lot of things on TikTok are very, you can tell it's been filmed on a phone. Sometimes it looks like it's been filmed on a potato, but it still does well because of the content that's in it, like in the actual video.
Yes. Okay.
Like on Instagram, obviously everything has to be the highest quality, the highest
it's a bit more
HD,
polished, isn't it?
Yeah. Whereas TikTok, I think you can be like really authentic.
Okay.
And you can just film something with your front camera, which isn't that great of a quality, and upload it then and there. Yep. And people will be like, that's really funny. Yep. Give it a like, give you a follow, all of that kind of stuff. But I think, I think that's probably like the main thing with it. In terms of like actual content, it depends on what side of TikTok you want to be on. Like there's lots of different, like you have book talk, you have witch talk, you have like all of like that kind of stuff, which sounds absolutely ridiculous saying it out loud, but
it's all true though, isn't it? Yeah.
So like you want to make sure that you're using the hashtags to reflect what it is that you're, and actually the hashtags don't have to be reflecting what you're doing, because the hashtags on the like most popular videos are so random. It could be like a trending film. It could be like XYZ, hashtag FYP, hashtag XYZ, hashtag ABC. Like it is crazy, like crazy.
By being inconsistent, do you mean experimenting and trying lots of different stuff and different content and different themes?
Yeah, and also your upload times don't have to be consistent. Yeah. You don't have to upload it like every Monday at 4 p.m. You could upload it on a Wednesday at 2 a.m. and it would probably still get the same traction if it's good content, because TikTok is so worldwide.
Yeah, but I'm assuming to start getting traction, you need to get a certain amount of content in and going.
Yes, for sure. And like I think we were saying before, where we had a video, our first one went kind of crazy.
For the scooter site,
Yeah, we the first one kind of generally always, as a rule of thumb, does well because it, like I said, it wants to give you like a false sense of hope almost that you're going to go viral with every video. So I think we had quite a few videos. I think we had like 6 videos filmed after that were already uploaded. So they also in turn did really well because obviously if you're going to look at a video and then you all you have to do is swipe right and go onto their profile.
And then you're there.
And you can view the other videos that they've got. Yeah.
I mean, that was massive, wasn't it? I think like totaled 7 million views or something, which is crazy.
It's so mad.
It shows and that built up, it was weird, wasn't it? Because it was like day one, it was 20,000, okay, this is amazing. And then it kind of plateaued for a bit and then suddenly got back in the mix, and
we were like, oh my god, it's at 3 million, oh my god, it's at 4 million, oh my god, it's at 5 million. And then I think we left it for a couple of days and we were like, oh my god, it's at 7.
It was nuts. Crazy. It was like really cool. But like, obviously that got into the system, into the algorithm. It got kind of and shown a lot as a result. But like, how much of it is a bit of luck in terms of the right combination of hashtags, trending sounds, the right story, the right edit, and I think, and you make your own luck.
For sure.
Don't get me wrong, you make your own luck because you've got to include these things. But there must be, sometimes you just hit on this magic combination and it bang, you're in and off it goes.
Definitely. And I think like a lot of small businesses were on TikTok and they've obviously like grown from TikTok because they had one viral video that did really, really well.
There's quite a few examples of brands like that.
Loads. I mean, I only know like makeup brands or like crystal brands, but I think there's lots of different brands that just sort of like took off because they had one video that was like, whoa, this is a really cool brand. And then obviously the more you have interactions, the more people comment, the more people like, the more people share it. It makes the algorithm be like, oh, people like this.
Push. It's like a momentum thing, isn't it? That's really interesting. And in terms of advice, to kind of wrap up, what would your, I guess as a blend of consumer and marketer, what would your one biggest piece of advice be for a brand or someone who's looking to get onto TikTok, do more, get a bit of momentum behind them?
I think if you're e-commerce, definitely look into TikTok Shop.
We haven't even talked about that, have we?
No.
That's a whole episode in and of itself.
It is crazy. Okay. Absolutely mental. If you're e-commerce, I think definitely TikTok Shop is a way to go down because it's wild and it is so easy for me to be like, oh, I'll just buy it. You can literally buy now and it's done.
Okay.
Like crazy.
Yeah, awesome.
Hashtags and sounds, which obviously like form trends. Because sometimes it will be the same sound over and over on my For You page, but like every video has got like 280k likes. I think from a brand perspective, maybe look into micro influencers, obviously depending on the size of your brand and how much budget you have to play with, because they're the ones that get me to buy things. Like, because on TikTok you already have the review, you have the unboxing and a review in one. And it's 3 minutes long, and I don't have to hold my attention for a 15-20 minute YouTube video. I love that. And then also where it's linked on TikTok Shop in that video, I'm like, oh, it's a done deal.
Done.
Literally.
No, that's amazing. There's actually, do you know what? There's so many, we're going to have to come back and do something else on this because there's so many other things that we haven't even touched on, like TikTok Shop. All the video edits you've been doing, where we've been applying this type of style of content, but to other ad platforms, and it's been working really well. We need to talk about that.
Definitely.
And then we've also got this potential other brand that we're doing some product testing on earlier, right? Which will be absolutely key to this. So a bit of some ideas around that. So there's so many other things that we can talk about here. So
you've just opened up a big old can of worms.
We have literally, we're going down a rabbit hole, but it'll be an interesting one.
Definitely.
So thank you.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, absolute pleasure. And thanks to everyone for listening. See you next time.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed that episode, please do come and subscribe. Join us for future episodes where we talk about the ins and outs of running paid media and driving improved conversions and revenue for your business. See you next time.